We are introduced to our leader Yifan Lin, who is a cartoon illustrator and creates fantasy stories based on the Rift Dimension. One day, a meteor hits Mingshan University, and the authorities investigate it. As Yifan finishes with another one of his drawings, he's suddenly transported to the Rift Dimension. He embraces a new avatar called Night Sword and is attacked by a demon wind monster. Yifan is clueless about his new situation, but luckily he is saved by an avatar named Nightly Marcus. He fights against the demon wind, and then Yifan gets the invincible sword Excalibur. In a hilarious sequence of events, Yifan manages to land the sword on the demon wind and kill it. He wakes back up in the real world and finds a mystical beast named Jerome. He briefs Yifan on his duty as a chosen one to save the world from the demon winds in the Rift Dimension. However, Yifan has financial issues to worry about, so he gets to work and leaves Jerome at home. Mysterious explosions occur near Mingshan again, and then we are introduced to Hang Lu, who turns out to be Nightly Marcus. Meanwhile, Jerome helps Yifan understand that the imbalance in time and space has allowed creatures from the Rift to pass into the real world. Night Sword also becomes popular among the members of the Southern War Zone, as they try to figure out his identity. However, Yifan starts to behave oddly around the magical creatures, and this disrupts the real-world order. He is then taken to the Dubhe court, where he is accused of violating the Rift's rules by a group of elders led by Zane. After some deliberation, Yifan is let off with a fine for his first offense. The elders ridicule Yifan after learning that Jerome is his pet, and it makes Jerome upset. Later, they go to the Southern Continent Avenue, where everyone goes crazy upon spotting Night Sword. Yifan learns about the ranking of every person's prophetic jade, and he tries to find his own rank, but ends up breaking the artifact with Excalibur. Zane is shocked to see this, as nobody has been able to release such powers. However, we also see someone corrupting Excalibur when no one is watching. Back in the real world, Yifan and Jerome talk about some stolen ancient sword pieces, and believe this is connected to the Mingshan University incidents. Suddenly, the rift is activated and a small crab attacks them. It doesn't seem threatening at first, but then it gets enhanced by mysterious magic to become a massive monster. It attacks Yifan, and even though Excalibur protects him at first, the sword breaks in the middle of the battle. That's when the chosen one named Skeleton Genie arrives and saves him. We learn that Jerome is the culprit behind this, as he was the one who had corrupted Excalibur with his powers. He tries to demotivate Yifan so that he doesn't have to be his pet anymore. But then Excalibur repairs itself. Now, Hang learns from his grandfather that Excalibur is the cause of the imbalance that is causing the Rift's monsters to enter the real world. With his growing concerns over the demon winds becoming stronger with time, Hang becomes Yifan's neighbor, and they exchange pleasantries after that. Hang also gives Yifan the Demon Core Stone that he had left behind after defeating his first demon wind. Then Yifan takes him to Southern Avenue so that he can sell the stone and celebrate their new friendship. But Hang isn't happy with this behavior, as he is a cleanliness freak. Even so, Hang helps Yifan get a good price for his stone, and then they enjoy a meal. They witness a customer mistreating a tiger avatar, so Yifan stands up for her and shoos the customer away. The next day, the rift is activated again, and the boys chase after a stronger level 4 demon wind. The evil spirit attacks them with its wind powers, so Yifan throws Jerome at it to stop it in its track. Hang devises a plan to attack it, but the demon wind still manages to escape the warriors and proceed to turn their own attacks against them. Yifan mocks Hang for being weak and takes down the evil spirit alone. Hang is impressed with his powers, so he proposes a partnership, but Yifan suggests that it would be better if Hang became his assistant. Hang kills the demon wind in frustration, and it depresses Yifan enough for him to take back his words. Yifan tries to train himself, but Jerome tells him it's pointless, as he always has luck by his side. Meanwhile, news of Night Sword and Nightly Marcus becoming friends spreads all over the chat room. In between all this, Yifan struggles with his comics, but a quick change in fortune helps him become popular with his fans. The next day, Yifan saves a popular actress named Chinmo from an attacker, but the entire situation was just a scene for a movie, so he gets fined for his interruption. He chats with Chin for a bit, But then the rift opens up again. A level 5 demon wind appears and Yifan quickly attacks it, but only gets pushed away by the monster. Suddenly, Skeleton Dini arrives and fights it, but even she struggles to cause much damage. Yifan tries to help her, but Excalibur starts acting up due to Jerome's contaminations, so she traps him. Skeleton Genie eventually manages to kill the demon wind with her finishing move, and then the rift switches off. As this happens, she is revealed to be Shinmo's avatar, and Yifan tries to get her to join his team, but she simply calls him a dog and leaves. Yifan doesn't stop with his efforts and visits her at Wang Yi Entertainment. This worries her manager Lu, and he tries to get rid of Yifan. Later, Yifan sees Qin playing football with some kids and learns that she helps children find foster homes, as she was also an orphan. Yifan continues to pester her, and this leads to him wrecking her bike. Now he gets a couple of calls where he learns that the house he's renting has been sold to someone else and that he's being accused of plagiarism as well. Yifan wants to rush back home to save all his manuscripts, but then the rift activates again. He notices the same tiger avatar from before, and she's getting attacked by a demon wind. Yifan saves her and battles with the monster, but struggles initially. Then he uses Excalibur to defeat the demon wind, but it simply revives itself and becomes even bigger. Meanwhile, we learn that Hang's butler had purchased Yifan's apartment in order to push him to depend on Hang. However, Hang does not intend on using this tactic, so he ends up paying Yifan's rent and clears the plagiarism issue as well. Back to the battle, Yifan is joined by Shinmo and Hang, but he manages to burn the demon wind to ashes all by himself. However, the chat room ridicules him by saying that he only has luck on his side. At night, a thief breaks into Yifan's house and tries to steal the sword, but he runs away after Yifan briefly wakes up. The tiger avatar girl Maya starts to bond with Yifan, and then they meet each other at the park. She reveals that her pet, Blue, is similar to Jerome, and she also talks about an army of demons below the pagoda next to them. That's when the thief releases one of the demons and it attacks them even though they're not in the rift. Yifan struggles to move, so he's beaten, but Maya succeeds in defeating the demon after transforming. That's when she finds Blue, who was being used to control the demon. Hang catches the thief and learns that Excalibur has become the host of the ancient Sword of Green. Yifan wakes up in the hospital and meets Dr. Yekui, who says that his health is in danger as he's been taking too many dragon pills that slow his functioning. Maya overhears Yekui telling another doctor that Yifan doesn't have much time left to live, so she organizes a party for him once he's discharged. However, Qin accidentally reveals Yifan's health condition to him, and he leaves the party completely heartbroken. The team is curious to learn the truth, so they question Yekui again. Back at home, Yifan tells Jerome about his condition, but he laughs at the news. Jerome proceeds to insult Yifan and says that he tried his best to destroy Excalibur and also put him in dangerous situations with the demon winds, as he thinks he's a loser. Upon learning that Jerome had deliberately made him eat the dragon pills, Yifan gets upset and berates him. He proceeds to harass Jerome the whole night, and his antics prevent even Hang from sleeping. However, we learn that Yeki was talking about another patient's health when Maya overheard her. So Yifan is perfectly fine. Maya gives him the good news and then asks him to look after Blue as she's going on an archaeological expedition in the snowy mountains. Yifan celebrates his health and kicks Jerome out of his house, but then he comes back and teams up with Blue to hilariously beat him up. Yifan has had enough, so he makes Jerome reveal the truth about the rift. Jerome says that the Demon Lord was defeated by the Lotus Flower God, after which he was sealed by her fragments. He and Blue were in charge of protecting these fragments, but now all of them have been stolen, except for the key fragment. Meanwhile, Hang learns from Grandpa Lu that the rogue group White Ghost has become active again and is planning on using the fragments to rule the world. Now Jerome knocks down Yifan using Excalibur and realizes that his prophetic jade has been locked, which is why he's not fighting at full power. Yifan asks Jerome to break the seal, but he says the only way to do it is to continue fighting. Later, Lu calls Yifan and offers to purchase the TV and film adaptations of his comics, as they're growing in popularity. A massive typhoon plagues the city, but Yifan makes his way through as he needs the money. On his way, he comes across unconscious bodies that even Qin is investigating. These bodies suddenly awaken and become violent sleepwalkers. Yifan is cornered, but then he is saved by the Dupes druggist. After this, he goes to the Wang Yi office and discusses the plot of the film with Lu, who starts to make suggestions that hint at Yifan's past with his father Wang Zhan. However, he ignores his words and leaves. Now the Chosen Ones are called to the rift, but they are attacked by sleepwalkers. With no other choice, Yifan, Qin, and Han unite to take them down. However, the level 7 demon wind Xiaofeng arrives and challenges them. The monster awakens more sleepwalkers, so Han leaves the area in order to inform the Dubhe to get reinforcements. Qin does her best against Xiaofeng and even uses a finisher move, but it does nothing and he attacks her. Yifan manages to save Qin but is badly injured in the process. Now Han returns and says that the rift circle is perpetual, so he can't escape it. With no other choice, Qin and Han do their best to defeat the beast, but they are quickly knocked down and are about to be killed. That's when Yifan awakens some of his powers and saves them. However, Xiaofeng continues to give him a challenge, so Qin and Han join in to help him. The team locates Xiaofeng's weak spot and focuses their attacks on it. Then they're joined by Ye Qi, who protects them using her aura. The team unites and traps Xiaofeng, after which Yifan destroys his core, thus finally killing him. However, he uses too much of his energy and collapses. While he heals at the hospital, an interrogator shows up at the Dubhe headquarters and declares that Yifan is a mole, as his dad was a white ghost spy. Yifan is taken away and immediately imprisoned for his suspected betrayal, despite any evidence. Han confronts Grandpa Lu about this and learns that Wang Zhan was the white ghost spy who had killed an army of Chosen Ones in a plane crash, after which he stole the key fragment that is allowing demon winds to pass into the real world. Qin, Jerome, and Blue break into the Dubhe office and attack the interrogator. They free Yifan and even the druggist arrives to help him. That's when we learn that she is actually Ye Qi. She holds off the interrogator and allows the group to escape. However, the entire community of the South Continent learns about the accusations against Yifan, and they publicly shame him. Despite the public outrage, Han decides to side with Yifan as he is his friend. But Yifan cannot take more of this, so he leaves abruptly, thus causing Jerome and Han to search for him. Meanwhile, Qin vouches for Yifan in front of everyone and takes off her mask to reveal her true identity. Yifan is finally located as he tries to save a Dubhe member from a mysterious attacker. The cloaked man escapes, and then the team notices a video feed coming from the snow mountains in the North Continent. This location matches the same spot where the accident happened 2 decades ago, and Yifan decides to go there to look for answers. Meanwhile, Ye Qi and Grandpa Lu find out that a demon wind even stronger than Xiaofeng has entered the real world. Yifan, Jerome, and Blue face problems climbing up the mountains, but luckily they meet the rest of the team and they decide to stick together to uncover the truth. Maya reveals that she found a demon core in a human skeleton and it shocks everyone. Then the team runs into the plane wreckage from the accident, after which they come across the White Ghost assassins. A hectic fight scene breaks out between both sides, and Qin takes on their leader, who is revealed to be Lu. Suddenly, a flurry of light beams attack the team, and they seem to be coming from an invisible source. Qin exposes the attacker as the Nine-Headed General. He is attacked by everyone but remains unaffected. Then he goes on to display his immense strength and speed and defeats the entire team in no time. Qin tries to resist but is whacked away by the general, and then Lu asks him to focus on Yifan. We finally learn that the key fragment was in Yifan's body the whole time, and his father had put it there so that it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands. The general takes the fragment away from Yifan, which allows him to break his seal and awaken his true powers. The general goes all out against him as the team is healed by Ye Qi. After an intense sequence of events, The team members come together and trap the general, thus allowing Yifan to kill him with his finisher move. He takes back the fragment and returns to the rift with his team, hence finally clearing his name and getting his recognition as a hero. Peace and order are restored, but one day the team finds yet another skeleton with a demon core. Suddenly, Chin is taken away into another dimension where she is found by a mysterious woman. And that's the end of the show. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more amazing recaps. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. Goodbye for now.